Hello, and welcome back to MTGplay. This is Luna, your host. And thank you for always showing up to watch our videos, whether you're on the go or at home. We really do appreciate it. If you like the content you see, we would appreciate if you subscribe. And then if you go ahead and hit that notification, you get a ring every time we come up with new content. Be some of the first to view it. We really do appreciate it. If you like the content you are seeing here, go ahead and hit that like button. We really appreciate it. And then go ahead and hit a comment down below and tell us what kind of content you'd like to see in the future. Well, anyway, today we're going to do a Premier Kaldesh Remastered draft. I have not drafted Kaldesh in quite some time, don't completely remember the format, but I have never drafted the Remastered, and I thought, you know what, today would be a fun day to do that. So let's go ahead and start on up. So we're going to get a Premier, which we're going to be drafting with other players. So while we're waiting for our queue, we want to thank you everyone at home and on the go again for watching. And during this difficult time of COVID, we hope that everybody stays safe. Alright, well, looks like we're going to be ready to go. Alright, so we're looking at, we can go into artifacts. That's interesting. I haven't really seen much of these cards. We do have a timer, so we got a dragon. I remember this wasn't the best dragon to have. Part of me kind of wants to see what I can do with the artifacts, but I know it is an artifact themed set. I can grab the dragon and go into red. Part of me wants to kind of go here, but that kind of hits a niche. And this sometimes it's unexpected to go in the air. There is a good removal spell, and I genuinely am a fan of removal. So for me, it's do I want to go with the Chief of the Foundry? I want to go with the Stalker. You know what? I'm going to try and grab the removal spell. Now, do I go with removal or do I go with the Stalker? Go in the air. Can gain first strike. Can get fire breathing. I'm just going to stick with the... No, I'm going removal. The heart says blow stuff up. Okay, so we have a 4-drop that's can go with that. If we enter the battlefield, so we revolt trigger. There's something that can activate abilities or stun, like drawing some cards. Go into the energy theme. And grab, so it's a 3-drop. Already in black, so with the fabricate, it would create a servo to put a counter in this. 7 minutes, it's 4-drop. As far as everything here, I'm kind of liking this green card. It does have trample, and it can come down as a 6/6. This kind of goes against what we grabbed in pack 1, but I'm a fan of this. Let's go in that direction. Alright, so we're going to get some draw. So we're going for the sacrifice decks. There is the buff. Grab some reach with the fabricate, or we can grab some mana fixing. So I genuinely am a fan of this ice over. Draw some cards, lose some life, add the energy. Get a buff spell. Not quite sure what to do here. It's a 3-drop, and it's only sorcery speed. Wait. So actually, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab the buff spell. Alright, so the Midnight Oil. This enters the battlefield with 7 counters on at the beginning of your draw step. Draw an additional card. And remove 2 counters from an oil, your maximum hand size. Okay, so this is not a very beneficial draw spell. Buff spell. Alright, so there's not a lot of help in the colors we've chosen. I'm not trying to change things up already. We have grabbing a buff spell. I'm curious how this card would go, but... Actually, you know what? I'm going to try it out. Midnight Oil. Okay, so now we have a 2-drop Death Toucher. It will add to energy. Not really too much into energy. And then we have a flyer for 4-drop. So either I want to go with the pointer. Actually, you know what? I'm a fan of flyers, so let's go there. Okay, so curious how this one's going to play out. Your maximum hand size is equal to the number of counters on it. Whenever you discard a card, you lose 1 life. Okay, so this is kind of later in the game, when your hand size is very small, so played everything out. Okay, so we're not seeing a lot of green stuff or a lot of black, so it looks like white and red's pretty open. And it's early. I don't want to veer off too quickly, but we can enter battlefield, attach it. It is a 2 equip cost. There is a creature, and it can't be blocked by artifacts. This is an artifact heavy set. So I'm going to go here. Alright, so I don't have a lot of stuff going on in small. I need some 1-drops, definitely need some 2-drops and 3-drops. I got some bigger stuff going on. Trigger the revolt, so alright, this is definitely a 1-drop. We can even grab a 0-drop flyer. It would help us with the buff, but we'd have to go a little more. So I think actually I'm going to do here. I'm going to grab our 1-drop. So white is definitely open. Maybe I should veer into that direction, but it almost feels like it's too late to do that. So, just in case, since the only thing here is playable for us is here, and white seems to be wide open, so just in case, I'm going to go into white. We'll just splash it. So either we want to go the buff or the creature. We need the creature, so I'm going to grab a creature. So realistically, we're not going to play this. I was just seeing what the packs are looking like. We're pretty heavy into black, and we're definitely black as our main color. But green we might not play, and white we may not play. It all depends on how the packs are coming. As far as what I'm seeing, okay. So I definitely can grab this, because it's for each player's scry, okay. And target player discards a card, and then let's put into a graveyard, draw a card. So I want to go here just to grab the creature, because we're pretty low on creatures. Crew 2, not really going that direction. We aren't really playing much of a sacrifice deck. We could use the creature. We could also use the card draw. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the creature. Alright, so then we're going to grab a buff spell. We might, weirdly enough, go into mono black. We just need some creatures. Might even have to grab some vehicles. Alright, so now going into energy. Grab this just in case we're going to have to go in that direction, because we got 2 red cards, so that's kind of a signal. Alright, so we definitely got a great 1-drop for green, and green is mainly what our second color is, so I'm going to actually grab here. Green wasn't very open in the packs, so that could be a sign that other people are in green, but it is going in a different direction now. I would like to play Golgari the way that things are turning out, and this was a pretty good pickup. So the energy here is not really being used. Probably won't play Benayo, I just think it's an interesting card. Red is still a possibility, but we did pick this up, so we might not even play white. We probably aren't going to play red, but it is there. It's an option in case we have to change up our direction. Alright, so looking at this, so die young, target creature, you get 2 energy and pay energy, so we're not really too heavy into the energy. We can grab another 4-drop, which would actually be good, because it would be a 4-mana 4/4 with trample. We have some bigger stuff going out late game, so I think for us the best pick probably is that. It would either be here or the other kill spells, since we're very low on kill spells. But I'm going to go with the 4-drop. It's looking like we're not going to need white or red, but it is a safety net just in case we do have some red going on. The white I definitely can say goodbye to. But we're going to need more creatures, some smaller creatures. We definitely got, so we got our bigger creatures for the late game. Okay. Okay, so we can definitely grab this. It'll help with the energy. We're not an energy deck, but it's just there. We need smaller creatures. Well, we need low drops, but I should say. Because we can always grab the bat, which is a flyer, which is nice. We're not having the artifact synergy, so I'm going to grab this so we have a 2-drop, because that is very much necessary right now. And so I'm actually gonna put the red over here since we don't completely need it. Well, green, black, winding constrictor. It's just a good card for what we could use it because it's a good card, but we're not really going counters. It could definitely be a signal to what we could go into, because what? Okay, so actually, I'm just gonna pick up the right. So yeah, I'm just picking up winding constrictor. Or do I go with the sculptor? No, I'm gonna pick up the winding constrictor. The simple fact that gives us something to do later on. Because now I can either go with the fabricate route. There's the battlefield. If you control a creature will counter on it. Creatures your opponent control gets -1/-1 per turn. So after picking up that, this is also something good to deal with the air. I think I want to start picking up in that fabricate direction. So we have the winding constrictor. Alright, here's the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter target creature control. This has menace, but I definitely want to start adding more to the counter direction. So the only other, and then there's also a smaller. It's a smaller drop, I should say. Alright, enters the battlefield, gain 3 life, draw. That's not very beneficial. Crew 3, it's something to be a big creature, but I'm looking at the flyer. So either I want to go with the flyer or I want to go with the vehicle. It is a 4-drop, crew 3. Not a lot of our stuff can go into that, so I'm just going to grab the flyer. Okay. Here. So we're not an energy deck. We could possibly use the life gain. This is removal. It's really late game removal. We do have the big creatures already. And the bomb would be there, and I think, we're running out of time, so actually I'm going to go, did we? Yeah, we got the Fenholer. Okay. Okay, so they discard, flyer, I'm going to grab the flyer. There's the battlefield counter, so that has counter. This also is fabricate, but it should be mainly a wall, so I'm grabbing the flyer. Okay, so not a whole lot is available to us, but we can get some draw and mana filtering. That's probably the best bet here. Okay, so the bat. Okay, so this will help with the fabricate. Cutting anything realistically, we're just going to cut the midnight oil. Okay, so that's buff spell. We're another small creature. We've been able to pick up our smaller creatures, so I'm actually going to go with the buff spell. Okay, so already have some red cards from the sideboard. Alright. Ooh, okay, Hope of Gurapur. Definitely going to pick that up. Small creature, it's flying, can deal with, can actually do a lot. Alright, so sacrifice this creature until your next turn. Target player who is dealt combat damage by Hope of Gurapur, this turn can't cast non-creature spells. Okay, so it would have been nice if we were able to go the black-white. But what I'm really looking at, and this makes me happy, is seeing this, especially it's been going more of a counter direction. It's probably our best bet here, besides the removal. Well, I guess it's a buff spell and a removal spell at the same time, but I'm going with here so we can get a flyer, give us some lifelink. Or mainly black, okay. It would have been nice to see if it was in our colors. And here, energy, it is a 3-drop, which we would probably use. So yeah, I'm actually just going to pick that up because it's going to be a beefy creature, since we have some incidental energy. So, okay, so the Druid could be ramp. Also another flyer. Actually, I think I'm going to go with the Druid because it's a nice blocker and it's probably going to ramp us something later on. Okay, so this is another Trampler and it will gain us some life. You may search for an assembly worker. Creature card. Okay, so we're not playing assembly workers. And this is just, it's a pretty big body and it's a lot of life gain. As far as what I'm cutting, realistically, going to cut the Midnight Oil. It's not going to be helpful with the type of deck that we're playing right now. Give us some card draw, but I think it would hurt us more than help us. What if we want to keep the Hope? liking the counter strategy that was able to come on later. I don't think we need this. It is card draw. It's mana filtering, but I think I can cut the prism. Yeah, I want to keep the removal. I like flying. Got some good trample creatures. Okay, what's our next pick? So we're not energy. We're not going to like make this flyer. So we either go with the buff spell. So it's either we're trying to gain some life, but we're not an energy deck. So I'm just going to go with the subtle strike because it's something that's played. Well, we can also go here because we have a lot of 2-drops actually. So let's just go with the subtle strike. Since we aren't an energy deck, I don't think we need this. Alright, so we can have a buff spell. We can have a fog or improvise. There's the battlefield. Oh, wait. Whenever a non-token artifact you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, create a token 1/1 servo. Okay. And it's improvised. We're not really okay. So I'm just gonna go here because it can help us make more creatures later on. Yeah. Okay. So enters the battlefield. Search your basic. So ramp. So both of these are ramp. We have some flyers as an option, but a basic land. So this is a 4-drop. It's a little bit later on. I actually think I'm gonna go through it. No, let's go with the ramp. The fact that we can get some card, a thinner deck, and also it help us with mana in case we're in a pinch. Since we got these bigger creatures, I don't think we need the Fen Hauler, especially since we're not an artifact-heavy deck. Don't know if we're gonna play Subtle Strike. We're not gonna really play anything in here, so I'm gonna grab. Do you want to go even just smaller, like make this very small? We're not an energy deck, but I'm gonna grab the goggles just in case. Probably not even gonna play them now that I think about it. Anything here? Let's just grab the wall. Actually, we could use the energy. We're going with the Rhino, but we're not an energy deck. We're more of just an aggro deck. I'm going to cut 4 cards at this point. It's 4. Pack 1, pick 1, taking a removal spell. I think not gone in the best direction with removal. Haven't really seen much of it. This helps with counters. I like flyers, but alright, so we can sack things, put counters on here. Alright, so we got red for the green. Oh, since we are playing traditional, it is best 2 out of 3. Alright, so for being best 2 out of 3, I'm going to definitely put the Subtle Strike in the graveyard, and then we're going to put that there. So we need to cut 2 cards. Alright. So I don't know how I feel about the Midnight Oil. I'm not very confident in it. Okay, so 2 cards. So the Fen Lurker comes in bigger. It's not going to be much cheaper since we're not an improvised deck. There's some big stuff. Probably their worst 5-drop here is a Sly, but also will make it so we have creatures, tokens coming in later on. As far as 1-drops, I think our worst 1-drop is here. It's probably doing more for defensive. We're a pretty offensive deck. So actually, I think, yeah, that's going to get cut. We need to cut 1 more card. I don't like having our opponent be able to scry, but it is just it's a bear. Okay, so that's a buff spell. And then we got our weighted indestructible. So we're not a sack deck, but it could be useful. Unfortunately, it's only sorcery speed. This helps with the counter, but it's not a very good body. It'd be nice if this is a 2-drop. Okay, so I think out of all of these, I'm probably just going to cut the Sly Requisitioner. It does give us tokens though, so if people have spot on removal, but they're always small bodies later on. So the best case scenario that would be for a board wipe. But I think actually that's just cuttable. Okay, so now we're at 24 cards. Let's make this smaller. Get the lands. Our suggested lands. I'm going to cut one forest and let's get ready to play. Alright. Curious how far this deck's going to go. After seeing what the draft was, probably red would have been good to go in for the beginning, so that dragon would have been a good pack one, pick one. There was a lot of red cards floating around. I would have been interesting to see where the Artifact Lord would have went. It could have been an intriguing deck to build. I like the deck we build, but I think the direction would have probably been best to go into red. Alright, so now we do have our 1-drop. We have a removal spell. We don't have a lot going on. We can try to be a little bit aggressive early, but we do have enough lands that it's necessary. Alright. So yeah, definitely gonna go here. Okay, so for 3 mana we can create a 1/1. For 5 mana we can create XX with the number creature number X the number of creatures you control. Okay. Right, so when this attacks, it does have first strength. That's disadvantage for us, but we can always. So I'm gonna hold back information showing, and then I want to play defensively. So I'm just gonna pass because there is a chance they're gonna attack. I'm not quite sure what's gonna pop up. This has a lot of mana waiting. They're gonna want to blow something up bigger. So we'll do playing against Rakdos. I didn't see many burn spells. Alright, so we're going to pass to attackers. So they attack, I'm going to block. So are they going to make the servo? Alright, they made the servo, so pass to blockers. I'm going to block here. And then, I don't know why they're saying GG's, but okay, so block, and then before damage, going to buff. Alright, auto pay, yeah. Alright, I'm going to turn full control back off. Alright, so now we definitely got our blocker. Alright. So I got a bigger creature. Oh, okay, I'm loving seeing that. We're going to play our 3-drop. Actually, we don't want to... No, yeah, we're going to play our 3-drop. That'll be a little better for later on. And I'm going to go on attacking. Because they have a 1/1, they might have a, I don't know what they would have. Okay, so we got in the damage, and now we have a creature. So now, oh, it is only sorcery speed though, so for the sack. Okay, so, and then there's a battlefield with a counter. If a permanent, I don't know if we want to force that by attacking, because it would be beneficial, but I want to go here with the 4 mana 5/5. Or 4 mana 4/4, I should say. Whatever, okay, put a counter on that because I want to have the biggest creature on the field. And pass turn. So now we can have the demolition, the daring demolition is up to deal with something, but I don't want to really deal with something this small, but I think it would be advantageous to be able to do. Okay. So play the land. And I can hold off because it's 5, so I can make this. It is sort of instant speed. It would be pretty good to do. There's also this, what I actually think I'm going to do, this is sorcery speed. So next to combat, I'm going to go attacking, and then hold off since I can start building an army. Just the 1, since they can't really deal with it. I mean, against lifelink, not death touch. So next to damage. We'll only be making a 3/3. So if there's nothing left the battlefield, we're not going to play there. I'm going to hold off and just make the 3/3. So would it be a 4/4? Yeah, it would be a 4/4 since it's adding itself. Alright, they're at 5 mana. They're holding up a lot of cards. They aren't doing a whole lot. Okay. Definitely something. And if they do attack, we'll just create our... Alright, so attack has been declared, so they lost on their crew. They're going to want to use it as defensive then. So... Oh, I misplay. Okay, I meant to make the... It's my fault for skipping through, so... I think this is sorcery speed. But I can attack this and then give this fly. Okay, so you know what? I know what they're going to do here. I want to pull off, but I want to be able to get another big creature out. I messed up last turn. I could have another creature. Dealing with this is a bit of an issue. I want to... So really, you know what? Yeah, they don't know what's in our hands. So I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to attack this. I know they're going to equip... they're going to crew, which that is fine with me. So next to blockers. So before blockers declare, are they going to crew it? Makes sense. Yes, okay. So resolve that. And they're going to block here. Blockers. So, alright, so that's going to happen. Next to damage, and then I'm going to play out our market. Since we did lose creature, we'll have that there. So we're going to end turn. Still made the mistake of not activating this previous turn, but right now it's not hurting us that much. Okay, they don't have any counters to be able to trigger that. I can blow it up. Okay, so actually what I want to do is, there's another flyer. I can play anything. So what I want to actually do is just get in as much damage as possible. Blow that up. And then start swinging away with the market. Just to combat. Swinging. Start getting some damage. Because realistically, I want to start holding up my creatures and I need to activate Ovia Pashiri Sage Lifecrafter. They can't activate that and give that lifelink. So I'm just gonna, no blocks, don't have another kill spell to deal with that. We'll gain a bit of life, which is a little concerning, but it is what it is. So next to combat and attack, realistically they're gonna block. And then I will have another night market area now. Okay, so no blocks. Alright, so we're gonna we end the turn because we can either do the 5 mana here, or I can get another flyer, nothing hit revolt. There's 2/3, wouldn't be able to attack through that. And I can move. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. So we can gain some life, transfer the counters over. And here, so yeah, we're going to submit that. So now we have another 3/3, but this time it's lifelink. We will have a bigger creature, and now we have 2 flyers in the air. What does this do? So, just Baltic energy, when it attacks, you may pay 2 energy. If we do, it gets +1/+1. You put up 1/1 counter on it. Okay, so that's something to do. Alright, so next, I'm gonna... Actually, if I attack with both of these, it would be not beneficial. I can always trigger this, but it's only sorcery speed, so you know what? I'm going to go attacking with the life linker that I know they'll end up losing their creature if I attack with. So next to damage, yep, I'm going to hit them. They do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so they're 2 mana shy of this. I can make the creature, but I want to actually start getting a bigger threat. We don't really need to sacrifice. We can get another, actually, yeah, another fly. We might not be able to trigger the revolt, but we at least have another flyer. So we have 3 guaranteed flyers coming in at them, and they can only block 1 of them. They can gain some life. Okay, so now we have another land to work with. And next to combat, Alright, attacking with 3 of these. So I'm in the air. Alright, that's GG's. I only made 1 real misplay, but other than that, the game went pretty smoothly. Alright. Hoping for something like that in the next game. Alright, claiming some rewards, and game number 2. Again, we appreciate everyone watching. We really do love making content for y'all. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It'd be much appreciated. If you like the content you're seeing, don't forget to hit that bell so you can get a notification every time that we upload a new video. And we would really appreciate the like. If you like the content you're seeing, also, it would be amazing if you could put a comment down below to see what kind of future content we can make in the future. Suggestions are always lovely, and I'm definitely going to keep this. We're going to make something indestructible. We can play all our creatures out, so we're going to first start with the 4th Bridge Prowler. We can play it. There we go. We can play it. I misread that. I probably should read things. Enters the battlefield, you may have target creature get -1/-1. For some reason in my head, I thought it was when it dies. I don't know why, but I did. Alright, so I'm going to play the Sculptor, and then I'm going to buff this up to a 2/2, and then go in swinging. I'll attack. Then... Alright, we got first blood. Okay, so next we're going to play their Forest, and then we'll have our Salvager there. Alright, so the fact they were flyer is a bit worrisome. So it makes me curious if I should leave this up, but it can't really do anything. So yeah, I'm fine with just playing this out and then going into attack with the 2/2 and hold back that. Because, okay, it can give something flying, but I have no problem attacking, getting in guaranteed damage. So next turn I do have the Rush. Okay, so they can get some lifelink in. So that is a concern. So we don't have a creature really deal with that. But we can give it lifelink indestructible and try to attack through. I think what I'll do is I will attack, and use this. So next to combat, attack, and see where they block. So I'm going to have to use a Rush to be able to get through, and I'll gain some life in the process. Oh, nope, okay. And then I'll play another Salvager. And end the turn there. So next turn I'm looking at attacking them for 6. Okay, so they can attack with the Eddy Trail Hawk. And it's guaranteed damage. Are they going to use it to try to gain some life? But then they would be defenseless. So right now their best attack is... They really should play defensively, but I hope... Okay. So they did do what they would be smartest. So I don't really need this. I'm going to activate the Salvager and sack that. I'm going to go in swinging with the whole team because I have Rush of Vitality. So then let's go in attacking. So now what I'm hoping is they block, and then I'm able to give it indestructible and impeccable timing. So, nope, we're just... Okay, so do I want... Yeah, I'm going to just have to save it. So I'm going to lose out on one of these, but I would like to save my biggest creature. It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. So, It's unfortunate to lose out on one of my 2 creatures, but it's fine. It would be nice if this is instant speed, but it's not. Okay, so they're going to lose out on the Eddie Tail unless they have some other shenanigans they can do. Okay, some more shenanigans, alright. So I'm hitting for 4, I'm losing both of my creatures, not looking good. Alright, so end turn. Alright, so I have a bunch of life. They have more cards in hand, they have a way to gain more life. I'm at a slight disadvantage, but they have to play extremely defensively. Just not expecting the buff, but shenanigans are shenanigans for a reason. Okay, so I guess they shouldn't use the energy, but they might. Okay, so then realistically they want to gain their life. Okay, so now I'm going to take 3. They're up to 12, and I guess the race is somewhat even, but the fact they have 3 cards in hand and all I have is a land, I am at a huge disadvantage now. Okay, and blowing it up. So I'm at an extreme disadvantage, especially just drawing the land. Okay, so hopefully I can draw into something. I know I got some big creatures, and alright, so this can't block at the beginning of your upkeep. Put a 1 counter on it, and you lose life. Since they're going to be gaining life every turn, this isn't really going to hurt them in any manner. Nope, they did not give it lifelink. Okay, so... oh, they wanted to draw some cards. Well, I do have to play something out, so I don't think they're expecting the 5/5. This can't block. They will be losing life. They would have to triple block to deal with it unless they have another removal spell, which is very possible. Definitely going to have to go all offensive. There's only 1 card they can't have that can block it, so either way, the issue is this fretwork colony over time. It's going to keep getting bigger, and it's going to be a big problem. It cannot block, so they only do have 1 blocker that can actually deal with this. They are going to be more aggressive. Small into the ground. What's the puppers doing? No, it's like angry little puppers. Alright, so they're not going to want to do that. Realistic. Oh, they're giving... okay. I guess they didn't want to lose it, so that makes sense. They did gain extra energy from drawing some cards. Alright, but I do have a bat of my own. So I'm going to actually hold that back and try to have somewhat of a bluff. And all attacking. So they can't block either way. They are taking 5. Unfortunately, it's only really 3 because of what the damage that's going on here. They will lose more life, so I guess I'm technically only going to be able to do 4 damage, but they're doing a pinging that to themselves. This will get bigger over time, and it's going to put me at a disadvantage, especially since I don't have any draw. We'll play this. I won't be able to trigger the artifact, but at least I can have a flyer to deal with that, and having the bluff in my hand seems to be working. Alright, so they've taken it. Alright, and then I'm going to be able to play my Screecher. Block at least their Eddie Trail to make it so this stops flying in the air. It is a way. The Sky Skiff does get past my Screecher, though. So I'm doing okay. They only have 1 card that can block my Fenhauler, so they either have to not attack with the Eddie Hawk, or Eddie Trailhawk, or they go all out aggro. So how many buff spells do they have? So I'm curious about this. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 6 damage coming at me. Gain 2 life. So they go up to 7. I guess they'll be completely tapped out. Unless they have another creature, I don't really have to worry about this. So it comes down to, they're going to go to 7. So I just want to hold this back, because as long as they don't have another creature, I'm fine. I have the higher life total. It is not beneficial for me to block in any manner, so I'm not going to block. I'm taking the damage. If they have multiple buffs, this will be unfortunate, but for now, I'm in the clear of winning this as long as they don't play another creature. Okay, so I'm at 8. Up to 7. They do have a creature. They have the counters. They can give... Okay, so that's what their game plan was. Right, so now I am in trouble. This was so huge to draw. Okay. Alrighty. So they would have to... Gaining 5 life. So this is going to be 1. That's 3. Next turn, that'll go up to 4. So that's 7. 8, 9. So that was huge. And now I'm going to go attacking. They would have to lose their Hornet if they don't want to take a bunch of damage. So an attack. Since they still have energy left over, the only thing I'd be able to block is their Fretwork Colony. So it's either, do they want to lose their Hornet, or do they want to take 5 damage? Then they would go down to 1 because of the colony. They would be able to gain the life back, so just deciding whether they want to lose their Hornet or not. That was a huge draw. Thank you, Stomper. I needed you. Alright, I don't know what they're doing because they obviously aren't reading it. Can't be blocked by artifact creatures. So that was a misplay on our opponent's part. Sometimes you just gotta read cards. I make that mistake all the time. Alright, so now they're gonna go down to 1 life. Even though they can net, they're on extreme defense. So I have Trample and I have a 5/5. Where 3 of their 2 creatures technically, but theoretically 3 creatures can't block their 5/5. I have a Trampler, so they're looking down at 10. And as long as if they just pass, I'm passing them the game. Because they need to gain the life, or they lose. So I'm curious what my opponent's going to be doing here. Because it would be best for them is to gain some life. Unfortunately, the Stomper be able to take care of their bug. The colony can't block 13 life unless they got outrageous buffs. So I'm curious what our opponent's going to do here. Again, that Stomper came in clutch. So they're giving lifelink. They can attack in the air. Alright, I don't know why they're not attacking with the colony for the simple effect that it can't block. Are they planning on... I guess they can crew the Sky Skiff, but they're losing at this rate, unless they have a kill spell or like 2 creatures, I guess. Alright, so that's something. So they're not gonna... I'm guessing they're... Okay, so they're just... So this is 2, 4, 8. So that's... I'm facing lethal. They do have some blockers, but I'm just going to have to go all out since I am at such a disadvantage and I need to force them to block with everything pretty much. So that's going to go here where they'll lose that creature. This can't block. It does have trample. So right now they're going to take 2. Fretwork Colony, they lose. So they have to block with the Sky Skiff, or they lose. But they can't because they declare... Okay, so this game, they didn't activate Sky Skiff before declaring blockers. If they would have waited before blockers declared, then they could have activated Sky Skiff. Okay, so you're gaining life. That's how they're doing it. Okay, so now that's going to be indestructible. That's still a game. GG's. They lose with the... I'll play my land. Good game. Oh wait a minute, I forgot about how lifelink works. So now, yeah, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay, GG's. I messed up. I no do math. Alright. And that's the game. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, that's 11. GG's. It happens sometimes. I got ahead of myself. Got a little too confident and boastful. But drawing land after land after land definitely hurts the chances of winning. Alright, so let's go into game 3. Okay, so we have our 1 drop, we have 2 drop, and coming way down the line, but we do have a bust spell. And a keep. You can hit him in the air for quite a bit, and then we have a pretty good, even if we can't get the counter triggers, those are great stats. And with our hope, so what is our opponent playing? What colors are they on? Alright, so they're in green. Alright, so that was a little nice to see, especially since we got the Constrictor. And now we're going to hit him for 1. And end turn. So next turn, all we're looking at is playing our land and then buffing something possibly, but we might not have to do that. Alright, so what's our opponent doing? Alright, so they are oh, okay then. So I need to draw a land. Alright, so all attacks. And then I can get okay, so I'm going to have to get aggressive. Since they're definitely going to block here. Alright. And then I'm going to buff this up. Alright, we'll end the turn. As long as we get a land, that would be fantastic, utterly fantastic. Deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Okay. So no land, we're in a bit of a pinch. So just gonna have to keep bolting them. And yeah, as long as they can draw into a land, everything will be fine. Can even trigger the revolt by sacking the hope. No land. That's really hurting. Last game we were getting a bunch of them, but now we're not getting any at all. Alright, so they're racking up the energy, so they're definitely an energy deck, or they just don't have a lot else to do. I'm kind of curious. Alright, so yeah, we lost that, so it would be nice to have had the mana so we could have had the revolt. If we can get a land next turn, oh, doing pretty well. Okay. So they're playing Bant. Bant energy, interesting. No land. That is not good. Okay, so I have to pass. This attacks, they can create a token. It's Bant energy. It's a good draw for them. Hopefully next turn I can draw that land. If I can draw that land, we can at least start doing something, and we'll have our 5/5 with trample. We still have our sack trigger for the revolt, and even for this revolt as well. Alright, so wait a minute. This enters the battlefield, tap target creature opponent controls. Okay, so they're icing me. Alright, so yeah, they don't have any buff, so they were just doing it to get the token. So no harm, no foul, and no land. Well, that's not good. So now we're taking 3 in the air. They're still adding up the energy so they can keep making tokens. Since those two just bounce off each other. Guarantee, okay, so that's, yeah. Guaranteed taking 3, but now they have green up. They might have the buff spell, and I really don't want to lose Mining Constrictor, so I'm not going to block this turn. Just going to have to take 5. So I'm hoping for a land, because if I can get a land going to the Pima Outrider, the only concern is it's double blue up, so they might have a counter spell. They used all of their lands. Okay, so that's good and bad. The fact that they just got a whole bunch of card advantage. Okay, so land, that's perfect. Okay, so I need to start giving stuff out. Trigger, fabricate, put 2 counters on this, and then pass. So now we're able to build back up a little bit. So next turn we'll also get the 5. We're going to attack with the 5/5, and we're either going to play the market or the Outrider. Since now we're able to deal with this, they're not really going to attack with it. It's not beneficial for them. Okay, so realistically we're taking 3 this turn. Might just have to demolition that. Or they're gonna make a whole bunch. And okay, whoa, that was not good to see at all. Gonna have to. Yeah, I wanted to destroy the patrol, but having this warden out, we're gonna need to blow the warden up. I also need the Pima. So yeah, they have 2. My concern. I don't want to do it, but I'm just gonna have to. Don't feel comfortable enough with them holding up mana. And going to put that up there. Play that, and then pass turn. They have a whole bunch of tokens. They're gaining more energy. Need to deal with the warden, but at the same time need to deal with the Spire Patrol. At least the Spire Patrol is what's really hurting. Oh, okay. Wow, yeah, that's GG's. Okay. Oh, yeah, just wow. Okay. Everything gets +2/+2. Nothing I can do about that. Okay, GG's. Just let's see how much damage they can do. I'm not... Okay, wow, this is going a lot quicker than I expected. Whopping 22 to the face. Okay. On to the next one. Hopefully we don't get mana screwed this time. So we went from mana flooding to mana screwed. Hopefully we can find somewhere in between. The opponent had a good draft. Some good pickups. I was really hoping we could have gotten to the 5 wins today. Still hoping. There's still a chance. Can't always get your gems back, but at least have a fighting chance when you're playing. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate all the input and everybody who subscribes and show us how much you all appreciate what we do, because we appreciate offering the content. We love to create this content. We want to make more of it. Go ahead and hit that notification so you can get a bell every single time so that every single time we put the new video, you'll be able to be the first to see it. If you like what you're seeing, we appreciate it if you hit a like button. If you want to have an idea for any future content, go ahead and hit a comment down below. We would really appreciate y'all's input. Alright, so we're going in the next one. Hopefully it turns out better. So we do have a black source. We do have a way to ramp. Don't have for double for militia, but I think I'm confident because I can, yeah. As long as I can draw into another land, everything will be fine. Okay, so let's go with the forest. We're passing. Next turn we'll go with the forest, play druid, and then swamp and defiant salvager. Find some Boros. Alright, so another eddy trail. Blowing up that energy. Alright, so we're gonna play our druid. So realistically, actually next turn, we're going to have to play the Marauder just to deal with their flyer. So, yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. Hey, alright. So if we got the vehicles going on. Okay. Just going to have to block in the air. They don't get any counters, which is unfortunate. But being able to deal with the eddy trail hawk is necessary. And okay. Just blow it away. Doesn't even matter. And then they ice down the land. Alright, so Thriving Rhino. Gonna need you. So when this attacks, not when it blocks, when it attacks. And they're icing it down again. Okay. So, wow. Yeah, this is not looking good. Not going to play out much. So I don't have any other black source. That's not looking good. They can give this flying, so we're going to take 4 again. It's such a disadvantage. I guess not knowing this format definitely did hurt me during draft. So they did not give it flying, so I am going to block. Yeah, I got a block, but I'm losing mana then. I would have a flyer to deal with that, so do I just take it? Or do I? No. So if I take this, then I'm going down to what, 7? If I go down to 7, I'm at such a disadvantage, but I did deal with their 3, but they have 3 cards in hand. Yeah, I have been mana screwed though, so I'm just going to take it. Go down to 7. I don't want to do this, but I need to get a creature out. And if I can get another land, I can get my Stomper. Okay, so that was perfect to see. As much as I would like to deal with the flyer, I kind of need the Stomper out. Stomper's going to give me that 5 life, so it's okay that I took the damage last turn. And I'm able to now block anything. And man, with all the okay, that's GG's. Okay, I'm gaining the life. So attack with everything. Down to 6. Add another creature. I could try to minimize damage. The issue is crew 3, so the only thing I could really do is, I guess, yeah, I'm just going to have to blow this up so that I can. Just going to have to rush a vitality to gain a little bit of life and to give it indestructible because I'm just fighting right now. Problem is, now they're able to crew this. Deals 1 damage to any target. So that's not beneficial. So now they're going to attack. I'm taking 3, going down to 3, but I will block here. This does not have trample. 2 attackers. Any target. Okay. If they give that thing flying, then I'm just dead. So yeah, GG's. There's nothing I can do about this. That was quick. Didn't go the way I planned, didn't go how I wanted. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in today and watching MTGplay. We didn't play the best. We could have done a little bit better, but there's always trying again next time. Magic is my favorite game in the world, and whether I'm winning or losing, I enjoy it every single time. We appreciate y'all's views, we appreciate y'all's inputs, and we want to do what we can to make a better stream and a better video service for y'all. Again, this is MTGplay, and if you like what you saw, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. If you want to see future content and be the first to see it, go ahead and hit the notification so you can get a bell every single time that we upload new videos. And then if you like what you see, we would really appreciate it if you go ahead and hit that like button. Anyways, without further ado, this is MTGplay, Luna, signing off.